All right, all right. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kamal Hart back on the charts. This is our first chart of 2021. Um, I've been trading. Just I haven't really changed much in my system. So pretty much any video you see that I've already posted, um, that's pretty relevant. Unless I make major changes, I don't really see the need to make videos every day. um, Given that I'm not a trading guru or a trading mentor or a trading educator, I'm just a trader. So when I get done with the charts, I'm moving on to the next thing in my day. I try to stay busy, but when I have time, when I feel like it, I will definitely create more review videos, especially if I'm changing things in my process or my system. So with that said, not too many big changes. I just felt like, hey, why not? I want to do a video today. So let's just hop right into it. We can see that there's a downtrend kind of like here. This is a little bit of an interesting one because I would prefer to have it touch here, and it almost touches, but not quite. But ultimately, I like this trend just because on the low side, I do feel like it fits cleanly enough. We don't get three touches, but it's still a pretty clean fit. So I like that. We'll go ahead and get started right about 7 o'clock. So with this downtrend, we're looking to see if we're going to come test these lows. Um, you can see we're starting to get some stack up right in through here, but regardless, let's see if we can test these lows. Um, Here's like a higher low. It's a little too early to just buy, especially going into the EMA like that. And that's um, kind of the difference. If this trend line was a little tighter, we would have already had a break two legs down, and maybe you're considering buying here. But if you're going to draw it like this, you're kind of just in the gray area a little bit. So we're waiting. Possible second entry short, but there's a lot of inside bars. We're for sure going sideways at this point. I wouldn't really want to go short here. Um, Nor would I really look for a long, but I would definitely hold off on the short. Right there, we get the reversal pattern, but it doesn't close above, so that's not the best sign. So what I want to see at this point is I want to see a breakout pullback to the low side or a breakout pullback to the high side. Here's the breakout. Um, it looks like a nice signal bar, but that's not a setup. That's just, you'd have to sell the lower high. But that's just, we're just kind of sitting on our hands. Here's a breakout pullback. I want to see a bar close above this bar, and then we're going to treat this like an uptrend. Right there, we get a nice engulfing reversal, breakout pullback bar, test the breakout area. It tested the EMA. I like going long here. This isn't exactly in the setup. Um, this isn't quite exactly the setup, but that is probably the one change I have made is that when I look for higher lows or lower highs, I don't only consider them the second, off the low. Like, see, traditionally, this is our new low, and this is the higher low. But this is also technically a higher low. Like, this literally is a low higher than this low. And so when we get a good signal bar, those are usually profitable for a scalp. And at this point, I'd also be looking at some sort of trend through here. So I'd be looking just to scalp this, and then my runners, maybe if we touch the high side or I see some sort of exit signal. But I'm okay taking this trade. This isn't exactly textbook, but I like to take these higher low trades when I see tight trends. Not so much in like a broad trend. And how I define that is that this is a broad trend because the bulls are making money. If a bull buys any of these bars, they're gonna make some money, right? So this kind of makes it like a wide bear trend. But over here, if a bear tried to sell this red bar or tried to sell this red bar, they're getting trapped. So I consider that a tight channel. So when I see that, when I see the counter trades getting trapped, and when I see the counter trades not able to really make money, I consider that the tight channels, and then I'm okay buying these higher lows if I have a good signal bar. Um, it kind of it's kind of stalling a little bit, but our stop should be under here. So you just have to wait it out, and then by here you've already gotten your scalp. So that trade ends up working out. So as we trend up, what we want to see now is hopefully some buyers to push it up higher. But if not, we're going to get a breakout. Let's see if we get a breakout and move to a new high. Starting to break out there. Um, I would consider making this channel just a little flatter, maybe like there. I think that's also pretty accurate as well. So yeah, this is a breakout. It's not very convincing, but I think it's pretty clear we're breaking out there. So that means that our high is just a tick above 38.2850. So there's not much opportunity trying to buy the breakout this time. And see, like right here, we get a second entry long, right? Off this high, first attempt, second attempt, but you're buying right into the double top. It's usually not a good idea to buy into a double top. So it's worth skipping. And if you look at the signal bar, although it's bullish, it's also kind of neutral. So, and then look how sideways we're going. Look how my cursor is going through almost all of those bars, right? If I take my cursor and I can touch multiple bars with this horizontal line, that's a sign that um, you're just dealing with a consolidation zone. So I wouldn't want to buy above there. I'd want to see a breakout, pullback, and buy from there, similar to how this trade set up. Or I want to see a break below and I want to fade the breakout. We get some price action to the high side. We haven't quite gotten that breakout pullback. If we close above this bar, that might count as the breakout pullback. We don't quite close below there. And then now we broke out to the low side. So like I said, if we can get a good setup, I might fade this to the high side. And I'm playing this congestion zone. Now, the thing about this is that this congestion zone isn't that big. 28, 20, or 38, 26, 75, 38, 28. That's not big enough to really make money. So I don't know if I'd make big trading decisions off this congestion zone. I would just kind of wait it out. Uh, Big green bar, engulfing bar. It's just the first entry to the high. And the way this set up, it probably broke below and then started working back up. And then when it closed like this, I don't want to buy the break above this bearish bar. I got to buy the close. And that's a little more aggressive if you're going to buy the close. The only other way you would have handled this is I would have put like a limit order back down in here. But like I said, this congestion zone is so tight, it might not be worth the risk trying to buy this if the congestion is your idea. So those limits get filled. Um, I think what we can do here is let's just expand our zone. So now that gives you a little bit of a better picture of what we're dealing with through here. Um, Nothing that I would really work with yet. This almost looks like that breakout pullback, but we didn't quite get below this red bar. But we'll just wait and see. Now we're getting that breakout. One thing that I'm noticing, see how we bounced off this EMA after we already had an uptrend? So that means we're getting some kind of continuation. I would be curious if we can find a trend. The trends weren't so easy to find today. And like this one isn't confirmed because we only have two touches. One, two. But I'd be curious to see if this can develop into anything. And I like what it looks like off the high side. See, off the high side, we get almost one, two, three, four touches. That's kind of a good look. But really, what will help me get long is like if I get that breakout pullback, that's going to help me get long. So like right here, but unfortunately, this green bar is an inside bar to this red sort of neutral bearish bar. It's a little risky going long above that area on my chart. Maybe on your chart, if you have like a more like a hammer or something like that, that probably would look better. And I'd be more willing to take that trade. But on my chart, I don't really like that setup. It goes, and then if we break above any one of these bars, we're going to have a reversal pattern off this low. First attempt, second attempt. So I'd be curious. I would be interested in buying above like this doji right here, or even, well, not anymore, right? Because once we go below this higher low, uh, the idea isn't as strong. Um, Although in this instance, it's kind of a failed. If we look at it closely, we broke below, but we didn't close below. So those sometimes are really good long trades because it's like it attempted to get lower, but it couldn't close lower. So if we do get above this bar, we're going to get some nice price movement. Um, it's hard to make that call off this big red bearish bar though. So let's see what we get next. So like here, the trade is still in play. You can see even though we made that double bottom, you can see we're not closing below this higher low. So I would be okay buying above this bar right there. And now we have a little bit more room to these highs. So you could probably scalp out before you get to the high. Um, I would be okay buying above there. But this trade is going to be a little bit more complicated. Um, and it's not as easy to actually understand if you don't have the right type of experience trading. But all in all, you can see we have three touches, an EMA bounce, a reversal pattern if we get above. I want to see us get above. Okay, like right there. Um, so like right here, three touches, an EMA bounce off a double bottom, uh, failed break lower of the higher low. Um, those are the main things. And then even if you want to take it on a smaller scale, I didn't mean to do that. If you want to look at it on a smaller scale, see how we were working with this congestion. Then we got the breakout pullback. So there's a trend through there, just a small micro trend. And then that's our first breakout side. You can even see the two legs, right? We have these two bear bars, a pause bar, and then another leg down. So that's two legs back to the EMA. The signal bar isn't that great. That's why you needed some of these other ideas to actually get in this trade. Um, but yeah, that's how I can justify that trade for my system. And then you get some nice price movement from there. I think I'd be looking for if we can get a leg two. So if that's leg one, I'm looking for a target somewhere up here for leg two. Again, if we break above here, we're going to have another opportunity to get long. Um, let's see if we can get it. So right there, this is a tricky one. There are a couple reasons why this one fails. If we go back to our smaller trend, right? We have that smaller trend, we break outside and we move to a new high. So all longs are suspect at this point, right? Because we're trading above the highs of this trend. They're suspect. I don't know if that's enough to stay out of the trade. So if your system is simple, you might get stopped out there. Um, that's all I can see that would have helped me stay out of this trade. Other than that, I probably would have bought that because it's a reversal pattern. Well, it's not really a reversal pattern. It's just a failed second entry short because since the price action is bullish. It's not like a reversal, it's just a failed second entry. Um, so for as for now, the only way I would have avoided this trade is if I would have used that idea. I would have known that it's a little sketchy, and I need to formulate a new idea to get long. If not, you take a loss. That's okay. You'll probably survive as long as you have your stops where it goes. You'll survive. Um, Here's a second entry long. It kind of falls under the same problem as this trade right here. Is we're kind of trading above this area, but we're also trading within the means of the support. So, had I seen this fail, if I was in here, I might be a little sketched out to take this. But if I wasn't in here, I'd probably want to trade this as well. So it's kind of like a hard area to gauge. I think one thing that this bar does help me see is that we see big this big bull bar, the engulfing bar. All of this price action is inside of this bar. So this is consolidation. So then I could look at this and say, if this is consolidation, I want to be buying on the low side of this area and selling on the high side of this area. So I don't necessarily want to buy up and through here, um, even though it's a second entry in an uptrend. This would help me stay out of this trade. And that would have helped me stay out of that trade as well. And you could have definitely come to that conclusion by here, even by here, right? Both these bars are inside of this bar. That's already telling me like, yo, we're kind of getting some sideways movement. We might consolidate. And when I see this, okay, we're for sure consolidating, consolidating, still consolidating, So I think that might have helped you stay out of this trade. And then that's going to help me. This looks like a good trade, but like I said, the other things going on, I'm just not into it as much. Um, that's a nice bar, and depends on your strategy. You probably got a scalp. I know that I wouldn't have. I go for 2 points, so I need to see 37.50, and I would have been a tick short. So, and then we kind of get that failed break lower. It's just the first entry to the highs. This might be our first break outside of the red channel, the board channel that we have going on. I'll just be waiting. Now we're getting a break to the low side, so we might want to fade back to this breakout area. I don't want to fade this. It's bullish, but it's also neutral. Let's see if we can get a higher low. We don't. In fact, we kind of get a breakout pullback to the low side. So what I'd be looking for there is it's actually a little tricky. I kind of want to see a two-legged pullback and then a test of these highs, but I don't want to ignore the fact that we did a breakout pullback of this congestion zone. So I just draw all ideas that make sense. So what could happen is that we work this line, we break outside, we test the low, and then we come to go test these highs. Here's a reversal pattern, and now I'm starting to trust this a lot more that we get a reversal pattern. All the price action is inside of this channel. From this high, we tried to go higher once, it fails, tried to go higher twice, it's about to fail. If we break below here, I want to get short. And that's why I draw all the lines, because even though we might still come test these highs, if we're trending lower and I see setups, you should trade what you see and not what you think. So this right here is a valid setup. Let's see if we can test the low side of this channel. Easy money. Blast through the bottom. If you have any runners, I'd be looking to cover um, just previous pivots. So I'd look like now that we close below this area, I'd probably want to cover like that bar, right? Don't give up too much of that profit. And you would have got stopped out pretty much by there. But I mean, that's pretty solid. You know, getting an exit on this line or a little bit past this line, that's pretty solid. You know, you should always take what it gives, but you know, it doesn't always just give you 500 points. You know, just take what it gives, and they will add up. So we got a break outside the low side, and now we're getting some strong bullish price action to the high side. Um, this is a little bit of a gray area in the system. I think ideally we're going to break outside the high side to a similar degree here. So like something like here. Now on the retest, we might not get that retest. We're still kind of looking to see if we're going to come test up here. Um, so I would just kind of be careful. I would try to trade maybe second entry shorts. Let's see if anything new sets up. Like this, not really a short I'd want to take. Here's a second entry short. This is an interesting play. Here's a second entry short. Um, we're expecting a test of these lows, right? The first breakout side. Both these bars are inside bar. Well, not really inside bars. This bar is an inside bar to this bar, but the high is this bar. So if you were to sell here, your stop needs to go above this green bar. Although I would probably just have it above the red bar anyway, because if it makes it back up there, it's probably going to stop out both. But yeah, I don't understand this setup as well. Here's a and it's off the EMA. So I don't think I'd want to be aggressive after getting such a nice little move like that. But here's a second entry short. So you might short there. Yeah. And that gives you a scalp. Um, yeah, see that's the hard part. After we get this low side breakout, sometimes I don't always expect it to come back. But like I was saying earlier, if I see second entries with trend below the EMA, you might as well trade them. So it'd be something for me at least where had I missed this one, I would have felt better about trading this one. But if I had gotten this trade, I don't know if I'd be so concerned about making sure I get in there. And then now for sure we have a trend break outside, move to a new low. So we're looking for any reversal patterns. We come up to this EMA and then we get another turn down. Um, I would be looking for more second entry shorts. I don't know if I would want to expand my see because this doesn't fit that well. If I was trying to expand the channel, but that's not going to fit that well. That doesn't really give us any new information. I would just be hanging tight. I can see the consolidation a little bit. You can see these double bottoms. I'll just hang tight. Here's the higher low, but we don't close above, so that's kind of uncertainty. That's consolidation. Another inside bar, nice signal bar, inside bar. I just, there's nothing there I see. We'll probably go to about 10 o'clock. Here it's getting confusing again. Below here's a second entry short off the high side. I don't really see a count off the high side, so I would just be hanging tight. It's pretty obvious that there's just some consolidation like there, and there's possibly a bigger range like this. This range isn't confirmed though, but I could use this just as a general guide, just to kind of keep me out of a bad trade. And then we get the breakout side there. Let's see, we get the breakout pullback. Like boom, there's that breakout pullback. We might come and test these highs now. Off we go, right? So I would have been willing to trade that. Same thing really off this low, first entry. The reversal happened here, but you don't want to buy the reversal there. That's the breakout pullback. Nice signal in a tight bull trend. Those are good trades. All right, y'all saw my computer's about to die, so let me end this video so I don't lose all that I've done so far. But yeah, not as many trades today, but there's some okay trades. the rest of the day kind of looks like that. See, we do eventually test those highs. And yeah, pretty solid day. Pretty solid day. So hopefully that's a good refresher. We'll probably be back next week with some sort of video. We'll see. But until then, y'all have a good day. Kamal Hart signing out.